Hello, welcome back to Mucky Hope Productions. Today we are talking about the much awaited Survivor 50 in the hands of the fans. I'm here as always with Coach Drew down below. How are you doing, sir?
I watched the premiere twice. I'm excited to potentially watch it a third time. I'm feeling really good. It was a great way to start the season.
And Jake, thank you for coming back. I haven't seen you since last time.
Yes, it's good to see you. It's good to see Coach Drew. I'm so happy to be talking about Survivor again, and especially this premiere because, like Drew, I watched it twice, and I probably enjoyed it even more the second time, honestly. And I'm just ready to jump into it. Let's just jump in. Let's jump.
Well, it has been 6 years since we had a returnee season, and I didn't realize how important that was to me when I saw all these people I knew, even the ones from the 40s. I was so ready to see some of those people come back again. And Jake, you and I were talking about it before, just how exciting that is. Were you just stoked when you saw Aussie on your screen again?
You know, I feel like it's kind of a joke among people that, like, did we really need Ozzy back again? I actually enjoyed him a lot. I actually did. And the whole time I was like waiting
He
to
featured
be
very
like,
heavily in the episode. You kind of had
He
to.
did. I think he
yeah,
got the
it's
most
like to say
professionals
that
out of
you
everyone.
to say that you didn't enjoy Ozzy in this episode is kind of like saying you just didn't enjoy the episode. So kind of, yeah, he's definitely very prominent here, and I enjoyed it a lot. And I mean, he's probably like towards the bottom of my excitement of
Yeah.
watching these people. So yeah.
And Drew, I know on that sand, when Coach was asked to give the keynote speech of the time on the sand, that you were just indescribably happy. You forget about what Siri said and how she made everyone cry.
I officially started my coach countdown when he started giving his little speech, and it's funny because, like, yeah, as much as I want to sit here and badmouth like three people, it was nice to hear from everyone. You know, as much as I don't like coachisms, it was nostalgic to hear a coachism. I think I rolled my eyes by the second time he did one, but like the first one was like, okay, this is cool. Now Jonathan saying "You got it, Mr. Jeff," I'm like, no, I'm out. I think I'm done. But no, as much as I am not a coach fan, it was in that moment I didn't care. I kind of removed myself from this bet that I have with myself about stopping watching if he wins.
Well, I think nostalgia was the big thing for me, and having that moment of, you know, seeing the people that you've sort of grown up with on there. And also, of course, I love seeing a whole bunch of people who are over the age of 40 and over the age of 50 play this game. I think that's something that has been lacking, especially recently, of just some over 50 magnificence.
Yeah.
And I have missed that in Survivor. You know how they every now and again just have like season 1 with Rudy, just shove an really old guy in. And I've missed that in Survivor. I love that.
The thing is, it's like, you know, we've talked a lot about diversity on the show and what have you, and the fact that, like, yeah, this season, as far as did we get everyone we wanted? No, it doesn't really matter because they did spread the wealth as far as age.
Yeah.
You know, we're not gonna, like, the point where Colby's talking to Rizzo and is like, oh yeah, I was the same age when I played. I feel like there's a fun little. If this turns more into an age thing than an old school, new school thing, I wouldn't be shocked.
Yeah. And I think that's fantastic. And I think that, I don't know if we just haven't been doing it that much or I haven't perceived it as much. But I think that's what I also enjoyed about Winners at War, when you had a bunch of people who were in their 40s and 50s playing. And I just think that diversity is just so interesting.
And it's also funny looking at the fact that Colby, was sticking with Colby, we have Colby in season 2, and he's aged 25 years, but we just got Joe. And it's like, oh, they're the same age. Somehow that doesn't compute, but like it would. We just got one person later in their life than the other one.
Exactly. And, you know, bless Colby, he did play into the old man Colby shtick pretty hard with it.
He can't see and he can't hear.
I can't see. And, I mean, that's the type of stuff I want to see on my screen, really. In a game like this, I want to know that someone's having trouble hearing and seeing and is too old to actually. I love that. Anyway, let's get back to the start. We start off with an epic montage of seasons past, which I thought was just so fabulous. What did you guys think? I've missed that.
Jake?
Yeah, I was loving it. I mean, when they did the dun, 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 from the music,
yeah, the start of that
premiere
first
of
episode.
season 1, I was like, oh my gosh. Yeah, I feel like it's funny because I can't remember who it was now, but they showed some really random people.
They showed Will falling down the thing in Worlds Apart.
Well, that's not random. That's one of the greatest moments ever. The Will
They showed Eric Cardona getting clotheslined.
Yes, that was good. But they showed
They had a flash of Shambo as well.
Somebody, yes, Shambo,
Yeah.
and then I think they showed somebody from. I just rewatched Panama Exile Island with my wife, and so it was fresh in my mind. And then they showed, I think it was Terry getting voted out, and I was like, at this point, a little bit like. Definitely not back in the day, or even like Cambodia. Obviously, he comes back, and that was like, yes, we love Terry. I think at this point, it's like, oh, that's interesting that you chose.
They showed
I
Terry.
don't know. I thought that was
I feel
funny.
like not Will Wall. Black Will. I feel like Black Will from Worlds
Will
Apart.
Wall.
not Will Wall. The other Will that I don't like. It's more random than Terry Deeds.
They love squeezing the lemon out of that clip. It's like the Sari got off the couch and the Sierra voted out her mom of like funny moments. I feel like
we didn't hear that this time round.
What, Sierra
That she
voted out her
voted
mom?
out
voted out her mom.
Yeah, that wasn't even in the recap. Yeah,
We've
I feel
evolved.
like that.
We've evolved.
Yeah.
not much. If we're still showing Eric giving the necklace away.
No.
And James, and saying Sari got off the couch, I think 3 times this episode.
Oh my gosh. And I rewatched Panama, and then we started to watch, we never ended up finishing Micronesia. Literally that line happens of Sari got off the couch at least 50 times. Seriously. It's crazy how many times they say it.
And she's done a lot other than get off the couch.
I'm like that's
It's
why isn't her definition? Like she's a insanely charismatic, funny, very smart woman. Like, just talk about that. I don't know.
It's kind of like
a nurse too.
book.
Like, she's not some like bum, you know. Like she's a nurse. Like, come on.
When comic book fans will say, "Oh, well, in the 30s and 40s, this person didn't kill people in the comics," and then they'll randomly kill somebody in a movie in the 2010s, and they're like, "Oh, but like this is not how it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be like this."
It's not
like,
canon.
The storyline of Sari getting off the couch is no longer relevant to anything that has happened now because of everything that she's done. At some point, it no longer matters she got off the couch because she's exceeded any possible thing that someone getting off the couch would do, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Exactly. Well, we're called In the Hands of the Fans. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I didn't really look into doing any of those choices. And I don't know if that's because I'm in Australia or not, but was this all over social media for you guys that you could vote and things like that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Definitely.
And when we were doing the recap for 48, I think, I kept, because there's this contingency now, people that think that some of the voting was rigged. And I remember sitting there saying, people kind of forget that the vocal Survivor fans are probably still a minority, and that the Facebook moms, you know, the people that sit at home and the ones that are still on the couch, they're the ones that are going to be voting in the majority. So I like every vote, every reveal that happened this episode, with the exception of the buff color, I voted for, because it's like I'm gonna vote with the numbers, because I knew that that's how people were going to vote. Like it's not that crazy that the votes were that close and they went to screwing over the players. It's not that hard to rationalize that, I guess.
Also, I feel like the wording of the questions were quite intentional, let's say. Like the should we have minimal idols, like some idols, or advantages, or like dynamic advantages. It's like, obviously people are going to choose dynamic because that's the coolest, you know?
Yeah.
And like people, like, I would probably bet that most people don't care that there's so many advantages. But there's probably a sizable, definitely vocal minority that are like way too many. Like it's a joke how many there are. You know, like that's the position of a lot of people, especially in like the spaces that we're in. But you put out dynamic on there. It's like, what do you mean by that?
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
it means
like that could mean really anything you want it to.
It's a corporate
So
buzzword.
I think that they
Corporate
did that
buzzword.
they did it very intentionally so that they could kind of have more control over it while making it seem like they're putting it entirely in the hands of the fans. So.
It's like them saying, well, do you want the show to be crap? Or
you
do
want
you
to
want
be
it to
dynamic.
be good, dynamic? We won't give any.
Do you want there to be
indication why.
nothing, or do you want there to be new things?
And when we say new,
like,
we're talking about a block of vote, which, whatever, like that.
Which, yeah, it's like, okay, they could do a lot worse. You know? And also, well, I guess maybe we should wait. I was going to talk about the Billie Eilish boomerang idol, but we'll get there.
We'll get to it. We'll get to it. But first of all, we've got the marooning challenge. And I mean, look, I don't know if you guys have anything to say about the challenges. Like maybe we should make challenges are challenges for me. I'm not necessarily someone that can go like, oh, and then such and such was really fast. And then this person was like, awesome. It's like, I don't know. Yeah. They're all athletic.
I was just really curious to see if Ozzy still had it. That was kind of my thing. Cause like, that's his thing. Right.
Yeah.
So does he still have it?
And
I would say yes, he does.
Yes.
But his back his back is not doing well so far. I think that's going to be a recurring thing.
I think so.
As far as the challenge is concerned, I think the more telling thing is afterwards, Coach ultimately wins, so it doesn't really matter. But like they didn't pick Jonathan, and they just showed Jonathan like 2 seconds ago, or maybe it happens a little later in the episode. It's like, oh yeah, I'm one of the most dominant challenge beats in the history of the show. It's like you won 2 immunities during your season, but whatever, man.
I mean, listen, I agree with you where it's like, I think it's a little overstated with Jonathan. Like if they get to let's say Jonathan gets to the merge and they're talking like, we need to get him out because he will dominate. I'm like, there's really no evidence that that's true. He didn't do that well in the individual challenges. It was the tribe challenges, which is where you keep people because of their challenge prowess, not take them out, right? So if people start talking about that with Jonathan when they get to the merge, like unironically, instead of like, we're doing this just to paint a target on his back, then I'll be a little bit annoyed because it's like, that's not really what happened? You know?
But that would mean that everyone would have watched it, because there's a couple people this episode that have already said, I haven't really watched in a few years, so like I don't know this.
Dude, apparently he doesn't really talk about it, but apparently Coach is literally completely clueless about the 40s, like completely. Just, I think when
That doesn't surprise me.
When he was talking to Chrissy in the water, I'm pretty sure he has no idea who this is. Even though she's not the 40s,
Yeah,
obviously, but I'm pretty sure that like he absolutely has no idea who Genevieve is. No idea. He hasn't. No, I actually, you know what? I actually know that for a fact. I'm not even guessing, because in his preseason interviews, he thought Genevieve was Jenna. And then he saw Jenna and was like, oh, wait, no, that's Jenna. Who's that person? And then
it's going to be a wild ride for Coach.
Well, hopefully not long, but wild.
Well, on that, with Coach, he didn't need a lot of convincing to go on the special journey. It was like, he was sort of like going.
Tiffany literally just said,
like, do you want to go?
He's
like, I guess I have to now. That just killed me. That was one of the funniest things I've seen in a while. He was just like,
that was good.
Please. Oh, if I must. And then I thought it was great that they offered up Ozzy as a sort of a like with like kind of adversary. And then Vasu's like, okay, one of our strongest guys. Yeah. And I'm just like, that's a real dick move right there.
Yeah.
And then there's Q. And it's like, okay. Yeah. Then there's Q.
Which turned out it didn't matter because that was basically a luck challenge in the end anyway. But I think, Jake, like you were saying, does Ozzy still have it? When he saw him dive into that ocean and swim and say, I think we all agree. Yep, he's still got it. He
did the Survivor Challenge stuff. He did it again. Well done. And then, I mean, yeah, he like never gave up on the like, honestly, like kind of bullshit like challenge of like the pole was like never gonna work like properly.
But
you shouldn't have to like you shouldn't have to like use a freaking like whip to like slap it down. Like, what is this like unlogistically made challenge? It was weird.
I need to see it from production side of view, because from our point of view, it looks like the pole is like sitting in the middle of Coach and Ozzy, and that Q would have to stretch the longest. Now, like, was that really how it was framed? Probably not, but like, it looks like Q. There's no way Q's going to get it anyway until it's on the ground. Like, he can't.
But the thing is, as well, are we convinced that they actually did it right? That they set it up right, or was the dream team off screen going? That's not. That's not how you do it. That's not how you do it.
I think it's more likely that they was purposely set up the way that it was, and because Q almost got it anyway.
Yeah, did Ozzy just have a really like poorly made pole? Probably.
Well, that's why I think it was. Coach said that he was going to make it so he could just steal it rather than actually.
Yeah, he just immediately was like, I'm not even really going to try to.
I'm just because he's honorable.
For it to fall down.
He's honorable.
He has integrity for sure.
Plan to steal it,
but he never made a promise. He never made a promise.
And you know what? I don't knock Coach for doing what he did in that situation. Which is,
no, absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Fine, and I think that we're going to talk about later of like, and then him trying to pull the honesty integrity card later. It's like, okay, so same old Coach, because so I'm texting friends and you know everyone's telling me what's happening at their specific watch parties, and like a lot of people, 3 people at 3 different locations also. Oh yeah, there's a lot of Coach people here, and it's like I just always thought they were in on the joke, but turns out they're not. There are a lot of people convinced he's going to win. And for the first half of this episode,
I've seen that.
It was like, oh, okay, yeah, maybe he is different, I guess. Yeah, they had their whole bonding over hating Sophie Clark moment, which was super weird.
I don't think Ozzy was being for real. I don't think he actually thinks he should have won. I think he was just saying that to
appease him.
Side. Yes.
Yeah, right.
Okay, so worst case scenario then, or best case scenario, it was just Coach doing it, which once again, get over it. But so we have this moment. It's still like, okay, Coach and Ozzy saying, "Oh yeah, I'm playing as Oscar now. I'm going to be more strategic." It's like I'm new. He keeps saying, "I'm new to this." It's like, this is your 5th time playing, bro. Like,
how are you new to strategy?
New to this? You can't be new to this.
Yeah,
it's impossible.
Well,
I'm like,
let's talk about the Aussie of it all. Sorry, Jake. Is that what you're going to say?
I was just gonna go ahead. I'll probably say what I was going to say, anyways.
Let's just have a chat about Aussie and the playing as Oscar, Aussie 5.0, 6.0, whatever.
5.0, yeah.
Do you guys get the sense that maybe every single time he's played, he has basically played as a young man and has gone, I'm strong, I'm fast, that's all that matters. And I'm flirty as well, which he has used to his advantage in the past. And this time he realizes that he's still incredibly athletic, but probably not to his standards. And he can't flirt with the 20-year-olds. And so do you think there is can you guys see a significant change in how he plays the game this season?
He has to. I mean, I think in Game Changers, he may as well have just been in post-production removed from that season.
Mm-hmm.
Literally, he made no impact. Like, I'm sorry, he didn't. And I'm sure, like, he was kind of like purpled in Game Changers a little bit. Like, it almost felt like the editors were like, we don't want him here. Jeff has basically said with Game Changers and this season, Jeff didn't really want him back that badly. It was CBS who were like the executives being like, we need Ozzy back. Like, he's going to bring people back to watching this show, you know? And I'm like, first of all, is he though?
Yeah.
Like 40-year-old Ozzy, really? But in Game Changer, I'm sure you could find like one confessional or another where he's like, I need to change what I'm doing. And then guess what? He doesn't. When he's voted off in Game Changers, you know what he says? Good luck catching fish.
Good luck catching fish.
Get real, brother. This is season 34. Now you're on 50. You're not pulling that shit anymore. And you know what? I saw some evolution because you know what? When he's talking to Q about the supplies, he's like, I don't need supplies. This is something that should be very obvious to basically anybody. But for Ozzy, this is real progress, guys. Real progress is being made for Oscar. He says, I need an extra vote.
Yeah.
And he aligns himself with Suri because he says, I need somebody else. Basically, I need somebody else to do the strategizing for me. He's like, I'm going to offshore my strategizing over here to the land of Suri.
to the absolute best PhD doctorate in the field.
Yeah,
exactly.
What do you think, Drew? How did you feel when he decided to take the extra vote instead of the supplies?
I mean, I was annoyed because I would have rather Q, like, because I prefer Q. Ozzy, but like outside of that, like, yeah, I'm good for Ozzy for making the right decision, I guess. I'll tell you guys what I'm actually calling him off air, but all the comparisons of him and Shambo have been perfect. I love all of the side by sides of that. Someone actually animated the old Animorphs books, how they transition from one to the other, and it's just Shambo turning into Ozzy.
She went pretty far, she went pretty far if I remember correctly, didn't she?
Shambo, yeah, but they look like with the mullets, with the headband.
I'm just saying the comparison ain't bad.
No, it's not, and so like I feel like Ozzy is going to be. I feel like if we were to compare him to any other season that he's played on, I'd still probably say this is probably going to end up being more like Game Changers than any of his other seasons, because he's not going to be Ozzy of, you know, his first 2 seasons. South Pacific, I guess, since South Pacific's now like a relevant season.
You know,
go ahead, Dick.
I was going to say, you know, I don't know why it almost feels like Ozzy like cuts himself short with South Pacific, I feel like he actually played strategy in that season. He had a whole alliance that he was controlling.
He convinced people to vote him out because he knew it would be better for his game to just go.
Absolutely. That was a smart play. And then, okay, the execution was terrible, but him pretending that Cochrane found the idol, that was a good idea. Good idea. Bad execution.
Yeah.
Probably should have, for revenge, basically.
Well, what's great about this episode, I think, is the fact that because when they did the preseason, like they did 10 episodes, old school episodes, and the South Pacific, I think finale was on there. And a lot of people were like, why is this? I think we got that answer in this episode. I hope we got that answer in this episode. I hope this has not become the Ozzy versus Coach show again. With all of these people, I really do not want to be the Ozzy. If the reason they had that at the preseason is because, hey, a large part of the episode 1 storyline is Ozzy versus Coach, then okay, cool. If it's not, it's a whole season thing, man.
Was it Ozzy and Coach? Was that the duo that you were like?
No, the duo I was talking about was oh my goodness, now I forgot. Or was it Ozzy and Coach? I don't remember. Well, I'm sure we'll get to it. It'll trigger in my head.
Yeah.
I was drinking rum that night, so.
Well, just the last thing on Ozzy, and we are skipping a little bit, which we will get to. Genevieve decides to give the boomerang, and we'll get to this. But just to skip over some very important parts, she decides to give the boomerang idol to Ozzy because she believes he's likely to be voted out, and so the idol will boomerang back to her. So do you think that there is a general consensus of, especially these new school players, that Ozzy's the type of guy to be voted out with idols in his pocket still?
We all brought it up at the beginning of this. They love playing the same scenes over and over again in almost every season. And one of the main scenes they show is Ozzy getting voted out with an idol in his pocket directly after playing It's a Fucking Stick. They play them in that order of like, hey, look, this person did this and now he's getting voted out later. So yeah, this is ingrained in these people's heads. They're going they know.
Well, then, Jake, do you think that could be incredibly good for Ozzy then? Because he's essentially gone idol out of this conception that he is a dum-dum.
Yeah, I mean, this can't be bad for him, right? You have an idol, regardless of the fact that it's a boomerang idol. Like that doesn't really change anything for Ozzy. The only thing it changes, if he gets voted out with it in his pocket, it just goes.
It's still an idol.
It's still just a full. The only thing about it is that he can't play it for someone else. That's really the only difference,
right?
Which might actually be, and it's non-transferable. Another Game Changers reference. Which might actually be, because I feel like there's a chance that they just vote out Suri if they, in my opinion, I think there's a chance they just vote out Suri, which I feel like if Ozzy has any wind of that, he would want to play the idol for her.
Yeah, which he wouldn't.
He can't. Too bad, so it could come into play if they want Suri out and then they lose again. It's probably Ozzy idol, or he just gets voted out with it in his pocket and it goes back to Genevieve. So I think this is good for him because it looks like even though Suri obviously survived, I still don't think she's in a great spot. So that obviously means, because everyone can see Ozzy is very clearly with Suri right now. So it's not very obvious to people.
Well, speaking of old school players, when we sort of first get back to the beaches, we have both Colby and Jenna really coming out of the gate for different reasons. Colby's like, you're my lines, you're my lines, you're my lines. And Jenna is like, Suri. And I think we saw that end very poorly for Jenna, skipping to the end. Drew, do you think they've just I've got my phone's going because I said Sari. Shush. That's going to happen this whole time because I keep saying her name. But do you think Drew, Jenna, and Colby should have just maybe let the young people run themselves ragged first?
Well, before I get to that, Jake, it was Stephanie and Colby. I just remembered. It was Stephanie and Colby.
Gotcha.
Obviously, hindsight and all that, yeah, Jenna probably should have held her horses. But this is exactly what she did in All Stars as well, and it had worked for her until it didn't. Until Final 3. I do think that if she had said almost any other name, then we could be sitting here talking about someone else being gone. And Jenna was my winner pick. And when that first time she says Cerie's name, I'm like, well, she's screwed. Like, there's no way that Jenna's making it out of this. And even, skipping ahead to the challenge, it's like, yeah, it doesn't really matter because it's Cirie. Like, it doesn't matter if she's screwing up the challenge up because Jenna has now marked her, which means Jenna has to go. So, yeah, Jenna obviously probably chill out a little bit, but whatever. I appreciated that she did come out swinging. Colby, so he's no longer like Superman in a fat suit. He's just old man Superman. Like, he is just deaf and blind, and somehow is also Rizzo's dad now. Because at the beginning, this kid has. I can almost say that he has no work ethic and this, that, and the other. It's like based off of nothing from what we're being shown.
20 minutes. Yeah.
And so for that to flip, and now all of a sudden Colby and Rizzo are having one of our first real emotional moments of the season. I do think that may pay dividend. Like, I do think that Colby's a solid player in every season he's played in, and he's made it far in 2 of those 3 seasons. I wouldn't be shocked if he made it at least to the merge of this one, because people do stan him. Like, people like Colby. People like the Southern boy from Texas, and I do think that will get him far. Now, something else that we're gonna get to later is his alliance that he has now is kind of, even though they have the majority of the people, they don't have the majority of the votes. So that'll be interesting to see how that goes. But I don't even think that Colby would be the target if that situation were to occur. But I picked Jenna to win, and she got put up first. So, like, what do I know?
So, Jake, we saw that towards the end of the episode, Rizzo basically said, "You're just like my dad." And, Colby had sort of been a bit like, "Oh, I don't like this kid. Oh, I do like this kid." Do you see them working together going forward?
Yes, I do, especially because Kyle has now left the game. And that's Colby's alliance. They need more numbers. And they need numbers that actually have votes. Because now Colby and Q have lost their votes, which just makes me realize, Q, bro, what? Like, he gave in to Ozzy so easily. It's like, really? Like,
he wanted a pot and a
he wanted
machete.
a pot. It's funny. You would think that it would be Ozzy playing that old school, like, I want the supplies, but Q apparently the season 46er. I definitely can see like Rizzo being roped into this alliance, because as far as we can tell, he doesn't really have anyone. They may be leaving something out that we're not seeing, but I have a feeling, next episode we're probably gonna, on that tribe, see, Genevieve and Colby and Stephanie sort of scheme and being like, okay, what the hell do? We have 2 people with no votes, and we just lost Kyle. Like, we gotta get Rizzo. Like,
they're not getting Aubrey. They're not getting
Aubrey. I think it's Aubrey and Angelina.
The
other 2. And it's like, which also kind of makes you sad, because I'm like, oh no, Angelina's not in a good spot. Ah, dang. But because like nobody's talking about working with her. But to answer, Rizzo can definitely see him and Colby, which honestly, I like it. I think it's I think it's nice.
Well, that leads us into that, we're all going off linear here, but Drew, I'm interested in your take on the conversation between Aubrey and Genevieve. That was quite tense. Do you think that puts Aubrey in a tricky position because Genevieve has made these connections?
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, it was a great scene. And as someone that's not the biggest Aubrey person, it was scary at first, like seeing her going against Genevieve, because Genevieve is a big threat coming into this. But it was a fun, and I know people are comparing it to Genevieve and Rachel, the scene of them standing in the woods. I don't think that this will be a season-long story arc. I do think this will probably come to a head fairly early, especially with the number dynamics on that tribe. And you feel for Aubrey once again playing in a season. So, I mean, if you want to harken all the way back to Go Wrong, where she's on a season where there are 3 medevacs and she's present for what, 2 of them? If not all 3, I can't remember. Oh yeah, no,
all 3. Caleb,
for all 3 of them. Yeah, she was pretty.
Neil and Joe. She was there.
Yeah. And so you go back to here, and she's just once again, we'll have to deal with this whole thing. I feel for her, even as a non-Aubrey person, but yeah, I'm obviously rooting for Genevieve to come out on top, and I do think that she probably will, because she is with the numbers. Genevieve had a Spencer Bledsoe moment this episode where it's like, it's Genevieve 2.0. I have to play, like, I have to have feelings down. I have to make friends. It's like, oh God, you're giving me Spencer vibes. I don't need that.
Well, I want to add, like, logistically, like, if they go to Tribal next episode, Rizzo, Angelina, and Aubrey theoretically could have the numbers.
Theoretically, absolutely.
If they all vote together, the remaining 4, only 2 of them have votes. That's only 2 votes. So I'm just like, okay, wait, is Genevieve actually like screwed?
Well,
I'm a little scared, guys.
Everyone knows Colby doesn't have his vote.
Everyone knows about that one.
No one knows about Q.
Yeah, we only saw him tell Kyle, and Kyle's gone. Who knows if Kyle told anybody? Probably not.
Yeah. So if Chaos Q can sort of keep that under wraps, maybe. But I agree. I think no one's out of that tribe yet, because it is so chaotic now with the loss of votes. And Jake, were you disappointed to see the losing votes come back for another season?
Yes, I was. I'm just like, we shouldn't be worrying about that sort of thing happening where like the minority alliance can just have the numbers because Colby happened to be sent on a journey where he had to stack blocks against Savannah and wasn't able to do it well enough, like I'm okay with it sparingly, but especially when it's happening like
to this episode,
to this episode 2 on the same tribe, like it reminds me of, like, I feel like they kind of got rid of this in season 45. Like, I feel like 41 through 44 it was happening like all the time, and I was sick and tired of it, and it seems like they kind of got rid of it, and I was happy. I'm not happy about this. I thought they had learned their lesson, but
it's one of the downsides of the episode.
It's one of the it's not a perfect episode. I think it's got some flaws, and that's one of them.
Yeah.
So if that was in the hands of the fans,
that was.
I would
have
voted
the fans
no.
Yeah, we couldn't vote on that one.
Yeah. Well, that brings us to Savannah, which it's always exciting when we have a returnee season and people don't know people. With Rizzo and Savannah, we've seen that in the past, like most famously with Russell Hantz. And in my opinion, the only reason he got as far as he did was because nobody knew who he was. And so Savannah sits everyone around and says, I actually won my season. I'm an open book. Ask me anything. Now, Drew, how did that sit with you?
Well, it was fine, mainly because everyone's going to assume that there are 3 winners out there because of how the tribes are split up.
Mm-hmm.
You can kind of guess that, the person that you don't know is probably the winner, of the game. And I feel like it would be more likely that it's Savannah than Rizzo, because Rizzo's only tribe with a winner. And I appreciated, the fact that she just kind of sat down and said, hey, this is how it went. I'm assuming that she probably still tried to play down a lot of stuff that she did during the season, and I don't blame her. Why wouldn't you? Or why wouldn't you? Whatever.
Yeah.
But I think that was the right choice to do. Give them some trust early. Devins is sitting there joking, saying, hey, I think we're going to be winning challenges, so you'll have nothing to worry about. And it's like, I know that it's a joke, but it's also like, hey, I better give these people something to give them a reason to trust me.
Yeah. Yeah. And then Jake, she got a blocker vote.
Mm-hmm.
How do you feel about the blocker vote versus the losing a vote or the extra votes?
Okay.
We've had a lot of voting shit happening this episode.
extra vote, block a vote.
Lose a vote.
I don't know what it is, because I guess functionally it's kind of the same thing, but it's more like this person earned this advantage rather than like, you got unlucky and got sent to this island and weren't able to complete this stupid carnival game, so you lose your vote.
Yeah.
That's what I don't like. I'm okay with this because it's more like plays into the strategy of like, who do I play it on? Should I save it? Like, I can save this theoretically till the final 6, I think 6 or 7 or around there. So I'm okay with it.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I'm going to go, we've jumped ahead. I'm going to go back a little bit. And Drew, I'd love to know your opinion on the resurgence of Exile Island. If we're going way back.
Yeah.
A long time I've heard about Exile Island. I think since 40.
I hope that it's not a one-off thing this season. I hope that it's a thing that happens in every episode. I think that'd be great. That gets us even more time spending with people talking to each other that we wouldn't expect to talk to each other. Maybe we'll actually get a real Exile Alliance this time. And obviously it's not like, it doesn't go above my head that the main reason they brought this back is, hey, Coach is on this season. Hey, remember that time that he had the greatest episode in the history of the show? Let's see if we can get that to happen again. Because I'm fairly certain that was another one of the episodes that was played before the season started, the Martyr Approach. So I'm not like, I'm convinced that the reason they brought it back is like, hey, if we have Coach back, we might as well just try to see if we can make magic happen again.
Yeah, and I'll just say, I think I can't remember if I said it after we started recording or before. I just rewatched Exile Island, the season. Yeah. And the whole time I was thinking, man, I actually miss Exile Island. I want it back. And what do you know? It's back. So, well, at least for this episode, but like Drew, I hope it's a recurring thing. I actually, especially now that we have 90-minute episodes, it's like, duh, like, feels like a perfect thing to like justify now. Because I think that was the biggest complaint about Edge of Extinction was like, dude, we're already stretched for time. Like, we're really going to go cut to these people on this island just sitting there doing nothing. Like, really? Like, come on. It makes more sense with this. And Exile Island is not like Edge of Extinction. These are people still in the game.
Yeah.
These are people still haven't been voted out and have to wait to win a challenge to get back in. Like, these are people waiting to see maybe they can find an advantage here. They have to, they're away from their tribe. Like, I like it a lot. I really hope it's here to stay.
Yeah.
Well, just before we do need to get to the immunity challenge, there is just another point sort of that I want to make. I thought it was very interesting after that challenge with Coach and Ozzy and Q, Jonathan's reaction to Coach coming back and everyone saying, Coach. And Jonathan saying he's quite happy for Coach to play the hero. Drew, do you think this is Jonathan trying to make himself small and less of a target in that way and go, look, Coach is your hero, not me?
Jonathan's another one that said, I'm going to be more strategic this time. Everyone's saying stuff.
And I'm like, you were also strategic on 42. You were strategic. Why are you trying to act like you didn't have strategy?
Oh, Jonathan saying that, yeah, probably to make himself look smaller, but like at the end of the day, Coach is old and you are not, and you're built like a brick shithouse. Like one of Charlie's only confessionals this episode is saying that we have a 9th or 10th man or person on the tribe. Like that is, we can see, they can see. Yeah. You can make this is not like Tyson and Aris, where Tyson is like making Aris look like a threat. And it's like, oh, well, I'm going to sling, and Aris is this and that and the other. It's like, no, this is Jonathan and Coach. The only thing Coach has on Jonathan, I don't even think he's taller. I think they might be around the same height, but like, no. You can make yourself look small all you want, but if you stand next to Coach, you're probably still going to look really big.
Yeah. Yeah. So he may not be fooling anyone, especially when Mike was walking behind him and was like, are you a giant?
Giant.
Was one of my favorite parts of the whole
I think that was also Jonathan just trying to, again, appease Coach as much as possible, just feeding into the, like, you're our hero, like, we love you, Mr. Dragon Slayer, like,
Coach you know what's coming. You know what's coming.
He already did. He called everyone Dragon Slayers.
He called.
Would that be your?
Did he call him Mr. Dragon Slayer?
Oh no! I was saying Coach said, "Let's all go slay some dragons" in his monologue, but
I thought you said that Jonathan called him Mr. Dragon. I was like, did I miss it?
No.
So,
no.
Jake, would that be your strategy? If you were on a tribe with Coach, would you be like, "You're so amazing, Coach. You're the Dragon Slayer. You're so mystical."
Well,
or would you be calling him out on his bullshit?
So it has to be like he's working in my interest, right? I would, or like, is aligning with Coach going to put me out of the numbers? Like, or is this like kind of bringing him under my wing while having him think I'm under his wing?
Yeah.
Is that going to make me look like you're not with the rest of us? So that it kind of depends on that. But yeah, if I wanted him on my side, I would definitely be like, dude, like, you were awesome in your seasons. I love the Dragon Slayer. I would, stay cool a little bit, but throw those in every once in a while, right?
Yeah, a little bit like Charlie with the toe ring.
Yeah, or kind of like what Rick Devens was saying with Christian, where it's like, I don't want to come on too strong.
Oh my gosh, that relationship.
That's so fun.
Actually, I don't know if I've got written down. That is another alliance that I would love to talk about. And thank you for bringing that up. The Hibiki, Emily, and Devons alliance.
Which, by the way,
I can see this going far.
Me too. But why is Jeff calling him Hibiki?
Because he's.
And by the way, I freaking called it. I called it. Drew was texting me. He was like, so I guess Jeff is now calling somebody else by their last name now.
It's just easy. Like, some of those names, like, I immediately get drawn to say, when I was typing it up, I wrote Hibiki instead of Christian.
Interesting. It's just no one called him that in David vs. Goliath. Like, it was Christian. It was, I don't think, I'm not like so opposed to it, or whatever, but it's just a little odd for me. Like, I've just always Christian. Yeah.
I don't think anyone else is going to be calling him Hibiki this season either. Like, this isn't a I'm
on the beach,
out there. I don't think this is a Savage type thing. I don't think this is a Culpepper type thing. Like, at least with Brad Culpepper, they call him Brad Culpepper. I think that this will just be a Jeff thing. I don't see anyone else out there just calling him Hibiki because Jeff calling him Hibiki.
Yeah, I agree.
Some names that need to be last names. I've got some friends that it feels like I've got a tick if I try to say their first name and not their last name. I think just some people. And for me, I get that. And I'm sure Devons. I wrote Devons. And I think they're the only ones that I've got that automatically I've wanted to write their last name, Devons and Hubicki.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, Jake, do you think that alliance could actually do some damage? That really tight trio.
Totally. And now, like, honestly, like they are in complete control of that tribe at this point, barring some bullshit with the losing the vote and whatever. They have those three. Then let's see who else. There's Joe. There's
Joe, Savannah, Sari, Ozzy,
and Ozzy, right there. And then they were able to get rid of Jenna, right? So
yeah.
I feel like Joe wants to work with them. I feel like it kind of feels like it's those three. It's Ozzy and Sari, and then it's Joe and Savannah. Kind of, who knows where they're at, you know? And Savannah might be kind of an easy next target for them, possibly as well, if it's not Sari, because she might have an advantage now, and she's a winner. You know, let's let some of us get a second chance. So, yeah, I think that they are in a really good spot.
Drew, do you think those three are enough to bring down Sari?
Yes. And as much as like I want this to be the time the Sari finally does it, like, yes, I do think that maybe it won't work. Honestly, right now, I'm more worried about Coach winning than Sari losing. Now, once Coach is gone, like once Coach is gone, I'll be like, all right, Sari, like let's get to work. Let's get some of these people out. But until then, the more that Coach just survives episodes, I know his tribe won, so like it's different. The more Coach survives, it's gonna be like, okay, like I'm already anxious and we're only one episode in. And I've seen Sari lose so many times, including however many months ago with Australia versus the world.
Yeah.
That it's like, okay, it's fresh. If the Coach being robbed, my gosh, and South Pacific is the storyline of this season, that means I have to keep reliving the fact that his fans are not in on the joke. It's crazy that these people are not in on the joke.
I don't think that's going to be the story at all. I think that the story is going to be, once again, Coach, you don't play with honor and integrity. Why are you telling us that you do?
He can't help himself.
It's either going to be the story is Coach cannot help himself and will continue to do this, or somebody is going to have to go up to him and say, dude, you got to stop. Like, if you want to survive in this game, like, you got to at least own up to the fact that, yes, you have the capability to lie and you have the capability to vote people out, that you, made a promise that you weren't going to vote them out. Like, that's how this game is played. And it's been played that way even since your first season. Like, come on, if anything, that's what the story will be. It's not going to be some retconning of South Pacific. It's not. Again, like, if it is, that would also piss me off a lot, because seriously, rewatch that season. Sophie absolutely deserved to win that season. She played Coach like a freaking fiddle, and so
let's move on to the immunity challenge, because this challenge was pretty significant, because we had Kyle tearing his Achilles, and Camilla being worried about him from the other tribe, and because Camilla, I just want to scoop up and cuddle and take care of her, and she's just the absolute sweetest, whilst having like absolute fangs. She's fabulous. And Sari totally cooks the monkey paw, like, just really botches
it doesn't matter. I honestly think that if Jenna had not said Cerie's name beforehand, they would have been able. I feel like it would have gained a lot more traction than it did.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
If she just kind of chilled, like I said, I appreciate her coming out hard, but like if she just chilled, and I do feel like Cerie potentially could have gone home here, potentially, but.
So were you worried about Cerie after that shocking and they lost immunity?
I was worried for because Jenna's my winner pick. It's like, okay, either Cerie's going to go home, which I definitely don't want, or my winner pick's going to go home, which I definitely don't want.
So you're just
one
miserable.
of these two people are going home right now.
Yeah.
And then, let's finish this. But, when that third name gets introduced, it's like, oh, yes, I love this. Yes, let's go with this route. But back to the Kyle thing before we...
Oh, yeah. Well, it was interesting as well. The conversations we had were very interesting. And I do just want to touch on some of the conversations back at camp after that. You know, Cerie's name was there, Jenna's name was there. But like you said, Emily brings up Aussie, which I thought was incredible. And, like you, I thought maybe they might actually go for that. Jake, do you think that might be coming next? I think we've briefly talked about it already. Do you think Aussie's name might be coming up next?
I think so, but also, well, here's my thing, right? I don't really see the point in voting out Aussie if you're trying to vote out, if the result of your vote, if your intention is to weaken Cerie, then just take out Cerie. That's that would be my thought process, right? Is that, Joe and even I think Devins and Christian were recognizing like, hey, Cerie's dangerous, obviously, but not just in a theoretical sense, she already has somebody who's basically a ride or die already. It's day one. Aussie's already defending her to the grave. And so I guess my question would be, what's the point in voting out Aussie over Cerie? Yeah, that's my thing.
Season 50.
Because it's season 50 and the fans would rather see Cerie. Honestly, that, what, if that's what you guys think, I think I might agree that that's what people, that they would do. I think that's plausible. So I guess that makes sense. So maybe it could happen. But if you're thinking
Joe would never be down for that. Joe's not going to let Aussie go pre-swap.
But he had lots of really nice words for Cerie too. So
I mean, nice for everyone because
he's like the nicest guy.
Yeah, it's like, oh, they pants me on live TV. It's like, dude, they didn't pants you.
Well, going into Tribal, Joe is feeling potentially Drew a little overwhelmed with the gravity of what this game means. Do you think maybe he went through his season a bit like, I'm everyone's dad, everyone loves me, no one would betray me, and then oops a daisy dongle, that's what Survivor happens, and that's what it does, and now he's like, and
it's still the game isn't relatively fresh to him, but watching his season is. And his portrayal or whatever, but these people are not ghosts on the internet. Whether they're on it an hour a day or 24 hours a day, these people see things that are being said and all of that. And I do feel like there were some people that said, oh yeah, Kyle and Camilla played this man. And within the realms of the game, they absolutely did. But you can tell this is still lingering with them. And it's you see it a lot with a lot of returning seasons of, talk about Coach and South Pacific again. Russell, it was just this and that and the other, and Heroes versus Villains. You get a lot of these, and it's one of the real reasons that I love returning seasons is you have, when they have these little flashbacks, whether we are showing them on camera or not, what they're talking about. You saw it happen. I don't necessarily think that Joe's going to play any differently this time, but I do think he will be more aware of the fact that he could be being played by everyone.
Yeah, I would agree
Well,
with that.
we saw Jenna voted out unanimously. Did that surprise you, Jake, that everyone ended up getting on board?
No, I'm not, because again, not to be like a broken record along with Drew, but like pre-challenge, you're already like, that's hard. That's playing hard. That's playing real hard. And I think also when it's Suri, man, like it's hard. It's hard to take that shot and actually make it, unless you're Tom Westman, So I think that I absolutely agree with Drew. You do this after the challenge. You say, guys, that was bad. That was embarrassing. And also, guys, it's Cerise. She just won Survivor. Like, I don't even know if most of them know. Probably do, but
that Cerise won. You mean Traitors?
Australians.
Oh no,
she won Traitors, and no, she did not win.
No, I was like, did she? What did she win? No,
I was like, wait a minute.
She made it very far. She made it very far.
Yeah.
She made it very far in Australian Survivor. She won Traitors, excuse me.
Yeah. But you're right. They may not know about Australian Survivor, that potentially. So but CBS will never let them talk about it. But I'm surprised they let them talk about White Lotus.
I don't know how big you guys are into Traitors, but like, that's a hard game. That's a really hard game. Yeah. And her game was really impressive. And like, dude, if I was going into season 50 with that like fresh in my mind, I'd be like, she scares the living crap out of me, so.
Well, and you just quickly, Christian makes a great point of if we decide to go after Ozzy, or if we decide to go after Sari, then the other person's going to come back, and now we're all dysfunctional because there was one person left out of the vote when we could just. And so, and like watching it the second time, it's like, okay, yeah, it's very clear that if not this moment, something else, another conversation, some of this happened where it's like, yeah, it has to be Jenna because we need everyone to be on the same page moving forward. We can't go after one of these two, even though we know they're a duo, because the other person comes back pissed off.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think we had that scene where they said we have to be at consensus and then they couldn't figure it out. So potentially that discussion was had. Yeah. But Jenna got voted out. She was pissed off. She was great. Pretty bitter. And the episode keeps on going. And
which I was like, wait, what's going on?
This is where in hindsight, it did start to drag it. Like, I know we get the Colby Savannah challenge, but even that challenge seemed rushed. But like, it felt like the back half of the episode just kind of felt like filler. And as I'm watching the clock, it's like, oh, Kyle's getting medevac because there's not enough time to do another.
Well, this has never been the format that it's always, and so there are plenty of shows where, the vote or the sort of the peak interest time is kind of in the middle, and then they have a bit of a teaser setting up the next thing towards the end. Traitors kind of does that every episode, but this has never been the Survivor format in the past. So I wonder if moving forward they are going to have tribal and then a bit of a teaser, or did they just do this for Kyle?
I don't think they did it because it was 3 hours. I think they did it because I came to the episode expecting 2 vote outs. I came
that's right.
Me too. 3 hours.
And so because there was only an hour left in the episode when Jenna does go home. So they go past the halfway point, basically. And so after that first segment back, I'm like, Kyle's getting medevac. And then they do the challenge. It's like, Kyle's getting medevac. And they come back again with like 15 minutes left. It's like,
Yeah.
The boat's pulling up and Q's telling his fun little story. Or no, he's talking about blackjack.
Yeah,
Yeah.
blackjack.
Oh, you're gone, Drew. But
Cosby
yeah,
Medical.
Jake.
Oh, well,
Yeah.
well, there he is.
It's never good when Jeff comes. As soon as I was watching it with my husband, as soon as Jeff is in the boat, I'm like, oh, someone's going home. Like that's never a good thing, is it, Jake? Either everyone's being evacuated or someone's going home.
Yeah, you can bet on that for sure.
Yeah. And we've sort of talked about the impact that Kyle leaving will have on that tribe. I think it's going to be really significant, but and it's super sad. And hopefully they bring him back. I think that goes without saying, because I think he had a huge amount of potential. But let's go back to the Billie Eilish Boomerang idol. I mean, Jake, do you think they could fit more gimmicks into that one idol?
I'd be hard pressed to imagine that they could have. I mean, it's not a conventional idol. It's got you got to send it to somebody, and then it can come back. And it's from Billie Eilish, which was it from Billie Eilish?
Is it?
No.
Did she write it, or did she just approve it?
Yeah, I think the latter. I do know she is a big fan of Survivor, but yeah. Sorry, Genevieve, she didn't actually write that letter to you. Sorry. Listen, I don't really care that it was Billie Eilish. If that's gonna excite people to get into the show, it didn't
excite me. I don't need Billie Eilish to
just as much.
I didn't need Sia to approve of.
It's not going to excite us, but it might excite the average viewer. And so, in my opinion, it's kind of no harm, no foul, honestly.
It's sort of just adding a bit of a name, just fluffing up the whole idol with giving it the Billie Eilish of it all. How pissed would you have been, Drew, if you thought you found an idol and then realized you had to send it to someone else to maybe get it back?
You know what? Because of, obviously, keep using the word hindsight, because of what I know now, I don't know if I would be that upset. You give it to, in my situation, I feel like I would give it to someone that I felt like could get voted out relatively soon.
Mm-hmm.
And then it goes back. Yeah, it's just another way of doing the Beware Advantage where you don't have to say a silly phrase and you don't have to put a necklace together or anything like that. It's just another way of doing a Beware Advantage. Except for this time, you're trusting other people to vote out this specific person unless you get to a point in the game where you have a chance of voting them out. I like this dynamic to the idol. We talk about how we don't like changes and everything, certain changes to the game. This is one that I feel like I'm going to enjoy. I'm going to, especially if Ozzy survives long enough that him and Genevieve end up, encountering each other.
You don't want to take him out with that idol.
Or Genevieve tells Stephanie, and they're going to tell Colby, does somebody else tell Ozzy, hey, don't let this happen, because if this, so I think that because of the possibilities of what happens to this, I'm really excited for it.
I think the only thing that could have made it better was if she actually had to give it to someone at a challenge on a different tribe.
Oh.
If she had to get it to them, then that would have been far more interesting. Because she might not have been able to get Ozzy. She might have just had to go with who she was shaking hands with after
the puzzle,
Yeah, at the puzzle, yeah. So that's the only thing that I think we could have been a bit more dynamic with that. But I think I think we've sort of covered everything. Is there anything we've missed? Because I've kind of gone non-linear here. So I think it's interesting that Coach now knows that Ozzy's been saying he's a piece of shit. Like Mike was like, Ozzy's talking about how you're not honorable. And coach is like,
And by the way, Mike White is amazing. I love him.
I love him.
Take a drink every time someone references White Lotus.
Yeah. And he's got a 6-pack.
Which is so is White Lotus? White Lotus is on like HBO Max, so I'm they're willing
because
to.
Christy doesn't have HBO Max.
Christy
Yeah.
doesn't have HBO Max.
Yeah, they were quite happy.
Which-
CBS let that one through. They were quite happy with that.
Yeah, they just love Mike White that much that they're willing to let it slide.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but
look,
I'm
it's a
really
good
happy.
get. Let's face it,
Yeah.
it's a good celebrity to get.
But
I
for
thought
him,
it was a
it's-
great celebrity when he was on the
First
first time. I thought,
It's
oh,
funny
dude,
'cause-
it's the guy from School of Rock.
Because it's funny because Mike thinks of it as like, oh, they're doing me a favor.
Yeah,
But they are thinking it as like, thank God he said yes.
We have the Emmy winner of one of the best shows on television coming to do our show again.
Which, by the way, great show.
Still haven't
I
watched
haven't
it,
seen it
but
yet.
I've heard great things.
Yeah, it's on the list.
Great. It's really good. Like,
Well, I think that's everything. Subscribe for Cheeky Naughty Times. What have you guys got on? Any other chats with anyone about anything? We've got Australian Survivor happening. Lots of videos for that. Traders. We're wrapping up.
Yep.
Drew.
I haven't
Jake,
watched
next
the
season.
episode
You should come
yet,
join us
but-
for Traders.
you know what? I would love to.
Yeah,
Yes.
we'll get you on. Get the band back together.
I've been enjoying this season a lot.
Yeah. I haven't watched it yet, so no spoilers. I'm going to watch it straight after this, the finale and the reunion.
I'm watching it at midnight, so I've got a bit.
Why at midnight? Is it?
I'm
just
watching.
to
My friend lives in California, so
I thought it was just to get in the traders mood. And
no. Yeah, I'm going to go to the bar and then I'm going to come back and watch Traders.
Oh, I mean, see, that's cheeky naughty. And Jake's got to babysit. I'm going to have a nap because I didn't sleep last night because there was thunder and everyone in my house was scared. So I was Maria von Trapp for the night. And so, seems like Coach Drew has the better evening out of all of us. Hey. All right. Also join us on our Instagram. That's where you can be up to date with what's going to happen. I think Friday nights are Australian Survivor. Monday, Drew and I will talk about Traders, I think.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. My Sunday, your Monday.
Yeah. But I think
And then,
and then I'm not sure when this is going up, potentially Sunday night. If you're watching this on Sunday night, then the plan has worked. But yeah, feel free to join us. And I mean, Australian Survivors only just started. Survivor 50's only just started. So we got a long ways to go. So thanks for joining us, Jake. Thanks for joining us, Drew.
Absolutely.
I'll see you guys next week. All right. Bye.